guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, our newest member of the Coaster Posters team, Eric, Reagan, and I have ranked our top 10 favorite roller coasters at Kings Island. Now before we start the video, please do not be offended by any of these rankings. These are just our personal opinions. Now let's get back to the video. The first person's list we're going to read off is mine. So coming in at number 10, we have Adventure Express. This also has one of the best themes in the park. Even though it is extremely slow at 35 miles per hour, the jerks on the aggressive turns are really fun, even though they shake you up a bit. It doesn't have any mid-course brake runs either that I'm aware of. It is really slow. They could have at least made it a bit faster, like at least 50 miles per hour. That would up the popularity of the ride a good amount. Like I said above, make it faster. Coming in at number 9, we have the Racer. The Racer was one of the first rides in the first roller coaster at Kings Island. For an old ride, it has a good amount of airtime. Another cool thing is, as you can probably tell by its title, it's a racer, which makes it even more fun. It does get a bit bumpy at the bottom of each hill now. I mean, really bumpy. Each hill near the end, it speeds up, making it more bumpy. I definitely do think it needs retracking, but other than that, a good old ride. The fact that it's a boomerang. The sudden drop after the lift hill is really exciting, and it is really fun to be able to go in standard loops backwards. This is another one of those rides you call bumpy on your head, which a lot of people don't like, including me. Since the track isn't that long, they really could just retrack it to make it less bumpy during the ride. For a tip, try to make it so your head is directly on the seat back or lunge forward in front of the restraint. First off, I would have to say this ride at Kings Island arguably has one of the best theming in the park. Besides the ride, that does have some nice theming. Between the cop cars after the triple helix, then after that, down the hill we have police cars, buildings, interstate signs, the chopper at the top shooting them and the fire out of the gas tank before the downhill in the black pool. It just has some insane theming. Second, it's a launch coaster. You can't go wrong with those. And the hill when you come out of them always fun. It is really bobbly going up the helix after the launch, I would have to say, and a little after that. But other than that, a pretty good ride. I would have to say they could have made it less bobbly by not making the seats so low in the train. First of all, it's a launch coaster. You can't go wrong with that. Second of all, the fact that it's in the dark is awesome. Like, it really truly makes a feeling of like you in a spaceship and it's like crashing. And with the music playing in the background, it really adds to the theme. It sits low in the car, making it really bumpy up against your head, and you can't really move that much. And at the end, the brake run is super really rough. Like when you stop, it's like, put on the brakes, Jake, and it's like super hard stop. I would have to say, probably make it so that you're not sitting so low in the seat. But other than that, a pretty good ride. I love the amount of G's Banshee pulls at the bottom of each hill. Even though your feet feel like pins and needles at the end, because of it being a floorless roller coaster, it's a good ride that pulls a lot of G's and it has a lot of inversions. 7 in total. The only thing I would say about this is your feet feel like pins and needles at the end. Coming in at number 4, we have Diamondback. I love the excessive amount of airtime. Now, even though it has mostly floater airtime, it did have to happen to have some ejector airtime on the first hills, which I like about that. I also really like the hill that drops you into a track and it gives you the feeling of running from the water, which is cool because it matches the theme of the ride, and it's fun. There's not much wrong with it that I could say that I hate it, but I would have to point out it does get slower throughout the ride until you go into the water section at the end. This is just my personal opinion, but I do think the restraints can be a little bit rattling on your head, so they could replace the restraint. To start off the top 3, we have Mystic Timbers. I do love the fact that even though it runs at 53 miles per hour, without it having brakes, it can reach up to 70 miles per hour, causing a lot of airtime. I don't really hate much about it, except for I do think they hyped up the shed way too much. They could have had, like what some people expected, a sudden dropper inversion. Coming in at number 2, we have the new roller coaster for Kings Island, Orion. Now this was a tough decision between Orion and the Beast for the number 2 and number 1 spot. I love the airtime, and the sideways turn on the second hill is really fun. Not to mention, the turns and the helix at the end have a lot of speed, which makes it even more exciting. Nothing really, except the fact that there's not a ton of airtime. Now don't hate me for saying that because there is some airtime, but they should add more. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have the Beast. I love the intenseness of this ride and how jerky it is. It really adds that rush of adrenaline. I also like the tunnels. Yeah, it's noisy, but they're extremely fun, especially the last ones when you go in sideways. And for a wooden roller coaster, it goes 65 miles per hour, one of the fastest wooden roller coasters. I don't hate much about it at all, as it is on the number 1 spot right now. Maybe when you feel some mid-course brake run after the first couple of hills, it's just like, come on, keep going. Maybe make the ride have less all of a sudden brakes, but other than that, a pretty good ride. So that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below if you would like to see the others list. 10 likes, and you will get to see Reagan's and Eric's list. Thanks for watching, everyone. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and turn post notifications to all. See ya.